everything from importing talent for local teams to the jerseys we flaunt from our favorite athletes to
Trade in sports, it's broad. There's a good side and then there's a services side. So let's say, for example, if there's any Belizean athlete who is a professional from Belize and who is out there in any country, be it the US, and they're playing whatever sports they're involved in, that would be a form of trade in services. But in this case, it would be Belize exporting services to that particular country. And the reverse is also the case when we have foreign athletes participating in some of Belize's leagues, be it football or basketball. That would be Belize importing sports services. Now, this also applies to the coaching crew, the technical crew, and the health crew. So it would be considered some level of sporting services trade. So when it comes to the good side, everything that you use in playing the sports, the bikes, the jerseys, the balls, those would be sporting goods. And the trade of that, whether we don't produce much of that here, so the way Belize participates in that is to import this good. So that is some form of trade in sports as well, but in this case, sporting goods. There's another services angle to trade in sports. That would be like the TV rights and the image rights for some of the filming or the broadcasting of this event. So when we have a volleyball tournament here and TNC is broadcasting it, there is some level of trade in services, but that has to do with sports involved in that. The right for TNC or any of our local TV stations to be able to broadcast those events would be an example of services sports trade.
all these are benefits we've all been able to enjoy thanks to Belize's membership in the World Trade Organization, WTO for short. The only global international organization that deals with the rules of trade between nations, the WTO is tasked with opening trade for the benefit of all, including in sporting and other recreational services.
WTO members like Belize would sometimes make commitments which has to do with access for that particular service, in this case sporting services. Now Belize did not commit to any level of restrictions at the WTO. So in terms of sporting trade in services in Belize, is pretty much a very unregulated part of our economic system. Let's say there was a restriction of foreign athletes playing a particular sports in the US. That would probably be because the US has made some commitments or some restrictions to a particular aspect of sporting of sport trade services at the WTO. But there is a little bit of liberalism in that, is why we are able to see this level of trade in sporting services. Although Belize is not big in that, but there are credible examples of us trading in sports services.
Despite Belize not making any commitments in sporting and other recreational services at the WTO, sports remain a big deal from rural communities to urban centers. And like other Latin American and Caribbean countries, investment in sports is modest. However, Belize's National Sports Council is trying to change that.
We are ensuring that sports is part of the curriculum in the different schools. Before, physical education was just a time for children to go out and kick a ball or bounce a ball in different schools. It was not taken seriously. We're saying, no, that should be taken seriously. It has to be part of the curriculum. And it doesn't only have to happen once a week, but twice a week. And I can see that that has been now implemented and is slowly rolling out in the different schools. Some schools already started using it. And that not only ensures that the child is active, but he finds his comfort zone when it comes to sports. And it also benefits the school, because then we certify the different teachers in the different disciplines to ensure that they teach the discipline properly when it comes to the respective sport that they're using. So it is all about nurturing. It's about ensuring that the athlete finds his comfort zone as to what he wants to be. When you look around the world, sports is expensive and it pays. And this is what Belize needs to get to. And we need to ensure that our athletes don't only go to participate, but ensure that when they go out, they go to compete. And I believe that we're getting there. We have seen different disciplines go out and they're bringing gold, silver medals. and that is impressive. So we do have the talent in Belize, and I encourage everyone. And one of the first steps that we have done, because we cannot do it alone as the National Sports Council, we have to create partnerships.
Indeed, partnerships have proven to be instrumental in the development of sports in Belize. One such partnership is that shared with the Football Federation of Belize, which has seen the implementation of a football in schools program and countless opportunities for both footballers and coaches, thereby elevating the level of the sport in Belize.
We are happy that over the last couple of years, we've managed to qualify more than 500 new coaches, and some of those coaches, not necessarily all of them, but a good number of them are actually giving back in the sense that they have taken on the challenges of coaching young teams, and these are the teams that are participating in our competition. We have brought in qualified people, and the people that have, the professionals that have come in keep improving on what they brought along. They are qualifying themselves more in sports administration, in sports management, and the organization is getting stronger and stronger. So whatever weakness we had a couple of years ago, we are addressing it, and so the challenges are not that great anymore. I think we are basically sailing, and it's just a matter of reaching the destination that we want to reach. Our technical director, along with the district technical officers, had training, conferences, seminars with teachers all around the country. And these teachers that graduated as de-licensed or grassroots coaches, we have given their schools equipment, football, cones, pop-up goals, so that they could start their own training and their own competition. And we're going further than that. We've also partnered with the Qatar Foundation, which they have a program we call Generation X, which we just launched, and they are focusing also on primary schools, and they will be adopting an additional 25 schools and be providing football equipment for the next 4 years to these schools, so that we could get the foundation bigger. We could have more kids involved, both male and female. So those are some exciting programs that we have going at the primary school that they've already started.
While training opportunities are key in the development of sports, another critical factor is the availability and accessibility of proper sporting facilities. Though basic, most facilities are usable for local competitions and practice, but Belize still has a long way to go.
It is very costly. You're talking about millions of dollars per year to maintain our facilities. Mind you that our facilities, most of them are not completed yet.
Constructing and improving our sporting facilities to be up to standard means better spaces for our athletes, but it also increases our eligibility to host and compete in international tournaments. Recently, the Isadora Beaton Stadium in Belmopan was decertified as the pitch did not meet international standards, leaving Belize with a single certified pitch.
We had been investing here at our center at the Football Federation of Belize headquarters for the last 3 years in improving our pitch, improving our bleachers, improving the grounds on a whole, and we got certified. So Belize still has one certified international pitch that we could play our games and that we could participate in the CONCACAF and the FIFA competitions. We could also host tournaments because we were the host of the Central American U19 tournament. So one certified, and I believe that Isidoro will need a little bit of work, and hopefully the National Sports Council could address that, and then we would have 2 certified pitches for football.
Training and facilities top the list of challenges facing athletes in Belize. But those aren't the only hurdles to overcome. For many athletes, it's not easy to get paid to play the sport you love. But some of our very own Belizeans have made the transition to pros. Cyclist Kaya Katus and volleyball player Brighton Codd have capitalized on a benefit of Belize's WTO membership. They've taken their talents to international teams.
Becoming a professional is what all young athletes dream of. And this is something that I've been pursuing for a while. In 2018, I actually made the step to go to the US and actively pursue that dream, racing in the US crit scene during the summertime. So coming out of COVID in 2021, going back to Chicago to race for the summer, at the Intelligentsia Cup, which is a 10-day-long cycling race. After a couple of days in, the owner and director of LA Sweat approached me and basically asked if racing professional is something I would be interested in. And without trying to seem too excited or trying to jump at that so quickly, I was just, kind of laid back, and we exchanged information, and we got in touch. A couple months later, I returned to the US, St. Louis, Missouri, to race at another race as a guest rider with them, or not necessarily a guest rider, but for them to see, more or less where I stood racing in the professional field. And that was my first time racing with the Pro 1-2 women. And I would say my performance was good enough for me to be able to sign a contract.
Serving, Brighton Codd, number 15. Brighton Codd is having an excellent tournament so far for Belize, and he has this jump serve, this high jump serve.
When I was trying to make that jump from college to go and play professionally, I was trying to figure out my way. No one has done it before in country, and there was only 2 other people from the region.
Excellent serve, off the block.
I had to get an agent, and that agent represents me, so I would send my profile, create a highlight tape, I would send that as well, a resume, and he would send that to other teams to see if they are interested in getting me as one of their players. And I play an outside hitter, so that's the ideal position that he would send out for, but there's also secondary positions that you could put out as well.
The benefits of sports are far beyond just the athlete. There are also economic implications for those involved.
FIFA and the WTO signed an MOU to begin to explore the economic impact of football, particularly on less developed countries, like those countries who are textile producers, to see how sports in some sort of way could help to boost the economies of those countries. So for Belize, we didn't make any commitments, but it's an area that we'll be interested in because it does have an economic impact on a very broad scale.
Business-wise, it creates jobs, like the tournaments we're having right now. A team from Cayo has to travel to Corozal, or Joac travels to San Pedro. We rent the boats, we rent buses, we provide food for the kids, and some of the family members travel along with them. They have to pay their way, they have to buy food in San Pedro. Some of them rent hotels overnight. If you go down to Punta Gorda and you don't want to come back the same day. So it stimulates the economy, it stimulates growth, it stimulates business. It's an industry by itself.
And the dreams of being paid to race with the pros, or to be an outside hitter on a professional volleyball team, well, that's no longer far-fetched, but it will require more input from the government.
For us, sport is considered as a hobby. We have to work, we have to take care of our families, we have to do everything that adult life dictates, and sport comes second. So something that would be nice coming from the government is to take it more seriously. We are never going to be able to reach the Olympics or games of those level and be competitors, as opposed to going there and saying that Belize also participated, or just being a country on the list of participants. In order to be competitors, our government needs to take athletes more seriously and invest in them. To athletes out there who have the dream of becoming professional cyclists or just an athlete, becoming a professional athlete in general, don't get discouraged. That would be my message to them. Stay the course. Always stay on top of your game. You never know who is watching and when they are watching.
I think if you have the ability to do something that you're passionate about, to do something that you love, and you know that there are opportunities out there for you, go for it.